All right, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to talk about why you still feel so empty on the inside, despite having achieved your goals, despite having achieved the success that you've always dreamed of, despite having what would appear to be a life that most people would dream of on the outside. And of course, we'll also talk about how you can create a life that feels as good as it looks on the outside. My name is Gianna Badeau. I'm a coach, certified hypnotherapist, meditation teacher, and guide. And if you'd love more deeper support beyond this episode, make sure that you grab access to the Rewired meditations linked in the notes below. There's over 50 subconscious activations, meditations, and self-hypnosis audio recordings to help you break through the subconscious barriers that are currently holding you back and keeping you stuck, and stress less and achieve more every single day just by turning on a Rewired audio and spending 5 to 20 minutes a day tuning into your subconscious and rewiring your subconscious at the deepest level of your being. So you can grab access to the Rewired meditations in the notes below. All right, let's dive in. Why are you feeling so empty right now? Why don't you feel fulfilled, even though you have a life that you should be grateful for, even though you're achieving goals, even though you are experiencing massive success in your life, in your business? Why does it still feel so empty? Well, first and foremost, you've been programmed since you were a little kid that success is a material outcome, that success is a material item, that success is money, it's objects, it's things, it's a finish line. Success isn't just money, new material objects, vacations. Success is a feeling. Success is an energy. Success is a state of being that you reach and you feel really fulfilled and you feel really good and you feel really proud of yourself. But you don't feel really good. You don't feel really fulfilled. You don't feel really proud of yourself because you still believe on a subconscious level that success is the amount of money in your bank account, that success is the amount of material items that you have, the amount of luxury items that you have. And while that is part of what it feels like to be successful, it's not the main piece. The main piece of success is your internal world, is the feeling and energy that you feel as a result of achieving your goal. And a lot of times what happens is you're chasing the wrong goal. You think you want to make a certain amount of money, but what you actually want is the freedom and the feeling that you will feel if you get that amount of money, when you get that amount of money. So when you're only chasing a number in your bank account, then you get that number and you just want more. You get that number and it doesn't feel as good as you imagined it to feel because your goal was the number. It wasn't the feeling and what you'll actually get from that amount of money in your bank account. What does that amount of money actually do for your life? How will you feel every day? The goal shouldn't be the amount of money. The goal should be the feeling that you feel as a result of having that amount of money. So when you're chasing these material goals, nothing you achieve is actually ever enough. So you can achieve goal after goal after goal and still feel empty because you're not actually going after the right things. You're not actually going after what you truly want and deserve. And that is a feeling of wholeness in your body. It's a feeling of grounded energy. It's a feeling of completeness as a result of feeling fulfilled, as a result of feeling proud of yourself for what you have achieved. And the reason why you could achieve goal after goal or get material item after material item and still feel empty, because you have this belief system that tells you more. And you always want more, more, more as a result. You're never actually satisfied. You're always moving on to the next best thing. And you've been programmed to operate like this since you were a little kid. No matter what you got, it wasn't enough. Or it satisfied you for a short period of time, and then you wanted something else, then you wanted something more. It's this more mentality that is actually hurting you and preventing you from actually enjoying your life, actually celebrating and enjoying your success. It's the state of being that you're actually truly after. That is what your soul wants. So what's happening here is you are chasing goals of the ego instead of chasing the goals of your soul. Your ego is focused on material items. It's focused on the way you are perceived by other people. And your soul wants to feel connected. Your soul wants to feel whole, wants to feel good, wants to feel complete on the inside. So have the material goals that you want. Of course, go after them, achieve them, but you need to have those material goals aligned with the goals of your soul. So ask yourself, what does your soul actually crave and want right now? That is probably one of the most important questions that you could ever ask yourself. What does my soul want? And when you ask yourself what your soul wants, it's likely very different than what your ego wants, right? For example, if you're a business owner, you're a coach or a consultant like me, your ego wants to make more money to make more money. Your ego wants to get likes and views, to be perceived as someone who is successful because of your likes and views on social media. Your soul wants to be of influence, wants to help people, wants to share your message, wants to feel fulfilled because you are using your gifts to support other people. And so those are two very different intentions. Now, it's okay to want more money. It's okay to want more views. It's okay to want more likes. But if you only want that without also focusing on the desire of your soul, which is probably to support, help, and influence people to better themselves through your business, through your work, then you're missing a massive piece of the puzzle here. You're leaving out a crucial piece of what will actually help you feel fulfilled while you are achieving your goals. So again, you can go viral, you can make lots of money, but if you're not actually tending to the goals of your soul, all the money you make, all of the views you receive will always feel empty. So what does your soul actually desire? What does your soul actually desire? Ask yourself that question, get really clear, really intentional, and receive that answer. The clarity that you receive is going to help you support yourself every day to make sure that you are filling up your soul, that you are focusing on service to others. If your soul craves to support and help people through your business and as a result make money doing that, then it's extremely important to have your mindset focused on a mindset of service, support, and helping others every single day. Because if your mindset is only focused on making more money and getting more views, that's empty. That's empty. And that's why you feel empty. Because your goals aren't rooted from a deeper spiritual, soulful place. They're surface level, they're egocentric. So right now, your goals are very ego-focused. That's why you are so empty despite achieving everything you want and more. Despite going viral, despite getting the likes, despite the views, despite the new clients, despite all of the material items and the travel that you experience, whatever it is that you're creating in your life, no matter what it is, the cars, the houses, you can have it all. But if you're not focused on the desires of your soul, no matter what you buy, no matter what you achieve, it will never ever feel like enough. And if it never feels like enough, you will never feel whole. You will never feel fulfilled. You will constantly be chasing the next best thing. And so why are you like this? Because of your subconscious programming. It's the programming that you've had since you were a little kid that makes you believe you constantly need to be achieving the next best thing to be worthy, to be deemed successful, to be celebrated, to be acknowledged, to be recognized. Maybe you learned that to be recognized by your parents, you had to achieve the highest level of success, but you never actually received that deeper love and appreciation and recognition that you actually needed as a child. These wounds run deep, and your subconscious is the reason why you are the way you are. The programming in your subconscious dictates the way you show up in your life, in your business. So if you have these wounds around recognition, around success, around your self-confidence, around your self-worth, and they're not healed, you're going to bring them into your business, into your life, into your relationships, and they're going to self-sabotage you. And they're going to cause you to consistently feel empty on the inside, no matter what you have, no matter the relationship you have, no matter the amount of money you have, the house, the car, the success, the family. You can have it all. But if you're not leading your life from the desires of your soul, and you're not filling up your cup from a soul level, you are always going to feel empty, and you're always going to be in this cycle of chasing the next best thing. And you probably are realizing this and seeing this in yourself often now, that no matter what you do, you always want more. When you want something, you may think once you get it, it's going to fill you up, it's going to make you feel a certain way, and then you get it, and it's like nothing happened. You don't actually feel anything. I remember I actually went through this like 8 years ago when I made $50,000 in a month. I thought that when that money landed in my bank account, I would feel a certain way. I would feel like, oh my God, I made it. Like, this is great. I would be able to celebrate it. When that money landed in my bank account, it was just like, oh, it happened. I didn't really feel anything. I was already thinking about how would I ever be able to do this again? Already thinking about how can we replicate this and repeat it? Already having fears around, can I even repeat this? And so that's an example. And so this happens over and over again in entrepreneurship, in life. We get the car again, we get the house, we get the family, we get the spouse, we get the marriage, we get the children. But something's still off. We just want the next thing. We want the next trip. We want the next toy. It's because you're not leading from your soul. And you need to ask yourself on a soul level, what do I actually want? What does my soul actually want? That's the question. That is the question that will lead your life into total bliss and fulfillment. Because when you start leading with your soul, not only are you going to feel more whole, feel more fulfilled, but you're going to raise your vibrational state. You're going to be in a higher vibrational state. And when you're in a higher vibrational state, what happens? You manifest more. You end up creating more money. You end up creating more opportunity. You end up manifesting more of those material things because you started by leading with your soul first. And so when you start calling in those material things, it feels a lot different from when you achieved it. And when you start calling in those material things, when you lead with your soul, it feels 10 times different than when you called in and achieved those things without having your soul fulfilled first. And so the most important first step on this is, of course, asking yourself, what subconscious blocks do I have from my childhood that are making me feel that I need to achieve more all of the time, that I need to lead with my ego, that material things make me feel whole? What is this mindset of more? Where does it actually come from? And perhaps you were in school and you got recognition and attention because you had nice things. And so you learned that to get recognition and to feel popular or acknowledged, that you had to have really nice things. So as a result, you constantly need to have nice things. You constantly need to show off your luxury things because that's how you receive your quote unquote fulfillment. It's actually fake fulfillment, but that's how you learned to fill up your own cup, even though it didn't actually fill up your own cup. So it's time to get really clear on a subconscious level, where is this wound? And it's from your childhood. There's something that happened in the early years of your life or in your teenage years that made you believe that you constantly need to chase more to feel whole, that you constantly need to be achieving to feel whole. Somewhere along the way of your life, you learned to lead with your ego because when you were a kid, your soul was in charge. When you were a kid, you were this pure positive energy that just wanted to feel happy all the time. Somewhere along the way, we all get tainted by the outside world, by the outside influences around us in our life, our parents, the adult figures around us, our teachers, things that we see from our friends' parents, from the friends that we hung out with. Wherever it came from somewhere. So getting to the root of where this programming came from is a very important first step because it helps you gain clarity and awareness around why you are the way you are. Because you can't transform or change anything about yourself if you're not clear and aware on why you are that way. This awareness is what actually sets you free in your life. I say that all the time. The awareness is what sets you free. And so if you want to be free of the subconscious blocks that are currently holding you back and keeping you stuck unconsciously without you even realizing it, you have to gain awareness around why and what is causing it. And the awareness will set you free. And then when you have this awareness, you can choose to rewire it because without the awareness, you don't know what you need to rewire. So the awareness not only gives you insight and wisdom and personal liberation and freedom, but it also gives you a clear picture on what you actually need to rewire, what part of you actually needs this deep subconscious healing and reprogramming. And this is what I do in my one-on-one practice. We get to the root on a subconscious level of why you're feeling blocked, what is causing you to self-sabotage that you're not currently able to see with your conscious mind because it's at the subconscious level of your mind. And when we're able to peel back the layers by doing this deep subconscious work, we're able to see, oh, hey, I didn't know that was there. Oh, hey, I didn't know that belief system was running my life. I didn't know that memory was influencing me so much today because it was buried in your subconscious and manifesting as self-sabotage in your life today. And when you have that clarity, again, you gain freedom, you gain self-liberation, and most importantly, you get to rewire it. This is why subconscious work is so powerful because it's the ultimate path to self-liberation, self-realization, and taking your power back over your life because whatever is in your subconscious is what is causing you to be, act, and speak the way you do today. Your subconscious mind is quite literally the blueprint of who you are. And unfortunately, you can't see what's in your subconscious in your normal conscious waking state. Your mind is diluted by thoughts, by things to do, by everything going on in your life. And to understand what's in your subconscious, you have to access your subconscious through this deep state of relaxation and self-awareness. And you can do this through the power of hypnotherapy, through self-hypnosis, through the subconscious activations that are on the Rewired app, linked in the notes below. And if you know you have deep-rooted blocks, deep-rooted tapes, belief systems, and programming from your childhood, I highly recommend that you check out the link to work with me one-on-one. You can apply and submit an application, and we can just chat a bit more about if it would be a good fit for you to work together with me one-on-one, if hypnotherapy and subconscious work is a good fit for you right now. We can just have a conversation and I can let you know if I think I can help or not. That's also linked in the notes below. So this all starts with, again, rewiring your subconscious. And you have to get clear about what's in your subconscious to actually rewire it. And there are many tools that I've talked about throughout this episode to help you start gaining this awareness around what is running your life, what is in your subconscious, in the notes below. And you can start rewiring and reprogramming your subconscious using the tools that I've linked for you below already. And the first step that I'd love for you to take is to just ask yourself that question that we've repeated multiple times throughout this episode. What does your soul desire? What does your soul want? Your soul doesn't want the new car. Your soul doesn't want millions of dollars. Your soul wants the feeling that you'll feel with that amount of money, with that car. And so when you pursue the feeling that your soul wants, that's when the money and the car come. You have to pursue the energy and the feeling, not just the material item. It's leading with soul and ignoring your ego. So for me, I had to ask myself that question a long time ago. What does my soul actually want? My soul doesn't just want money and success. My soul wants to be of service to others. My soul wants to know that everything that I went through in my life was for a purpose. My soul wants to use everything that I've went through for a purpose by helping other people. And so because that's what my soul actually wants, to achieve that, I need views. I need to be seen online. So it's not just views and virality. That's what the ego wants. On a deeper level, my soul wants to help people, right? So underneath that desire for views and virality, there's this deeper part. There's this soul part of me that wants to support, wants to help, wants the message to be heard by as many people as possible. And to do that, you need views, right? You need to be seen. You need to be heard. You need your voice out there, right? So ask yourself that question. What does your soul want? What does your soul crave? Now, this can be as it relates to your business, your relationships, literally any area of your life. In fact, ask yourself that question as it relates to all areas of your life. And when you lead in relationship and in business from what your soul wants, you achieve everything you want and more very naturally. So there is so much for you to get started with from this episode. Start with that question, what does my soul actually want? And you can also start utilizing the subconscious rewiring tools linked in the notes below. This will help you start creating a life that feels as good as it looks on the outside. Because what is the point of having a life that just looks good? It's pointless. If you feel like shit every day, if you feel stressed, if you feel anxious, if you're always chasing the next best thing, all of that's worth nothing. It's about how you feel. You need to feel good and you need to create a life that feels as good as it looks. And so this is what I hope this episode will help you do. And if you'd love to go even deeper, again, grab access to the resources linked in the notes below. There's a few free resources, there's some paid resources, and there's also an application to apply to work with me one-on-one. And if you loved this episode, make sure you subscribe and you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode along this incredible journey. And I'll see you next time.